This is a video on how assessments work in geometry, with grading and retaking them. In geometry, our assessments are broken up into three parts. For example, we have Assessment 1. The three parts are Level 2, which usually contains about 10 questions, Level 3, which contains about 5 questions, Level 4, which contains 2 questions. Now, Level 2 questions are your basic questions for that specific topic. They're usually nice, easy numbers to work with, very minimal solving, a lot of definition-style questions. Level 3 are going to require basic algebra, good old-fashioned arithmetic. These types of questions tend to focus on what you need to pass your state exam with. Your goal is always to hit the level 3 or higher. A level 2, it's okay, but we are always going to push you towards a level 3 because that's what you need to pass your state exam. Level 4 contains 2 questions every single time. That will not change. Level 4 are your really tougher questions. They really push you to think, do you really understand this content? Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at how each level is graded and how this whole system works. So here I've made a flowchart for Assessment 1. So you can see in the blue, Level 2 has 10 questions. If you get 7 questions or more right, you'll earn a 75% on the test. If you get 6 or less correct, you earn a 50%. You're not ready to move on to the harder questions. So you're going to stop the test at that point, and you'll be able to retake the test later, but you'll have to do a remediation assignment, and we'll get into that in the next slide. Let's say you actually get 7 or more correct. So anywhere from 7 correct to 10 correct, you get a 75% regardless. You will then move on to level 3, where there's 5 questions. Once again, these questions are a little bit tougher. You only need to get 3 or more correct to earn an 83%. If you get 2 or less correct, you earn a 75% for that test. But you will stop. You will not move on to level 4. You'll need to do a remediation assignment, and then you'll be able to retake the test later. Let's say you get 3 or more correct. You get your 83%. You then get to move on to level 4, where there's 2 questions. Now, there's 3 different grades you could potentially earn at a level 4. If you get both questions correct, and you've got all the questions correct in the previous 2 levels, you earn a 100% because you got every question right on the test. If you get 2 questions correct, but you didn't get all the questions correct in the previous levels, you would earn a 95. As an example, let's say level 2, you got 10 right, but at level 3, you only got 4 right. Well, that's not 100%. So even though in level 4 you get 2 correct questions, you're going to earn a 95 because you didn't get all of them right. If you only get 1 question right out of the level 4 section, you earn a 90%. If you get 0 correct, then you'll go ahead and earn an 83%, and you have the option of doing a remediation assignment and retaking the test to try to move this test grade from an 83 up into a 90 or a 95. Keep in mind that this one assessment is 1 grade in the gradebook. Every time you go up to a different level, if you start off with the 75 and then you take level 3 test and you earn the 83, the grade that will show up in Skyward is the 83. If you go ahead and get 2 correct in level 4, and you got all the other questions correct in the test, then in Skyward you would see a 100%. So these are not 3 separate grades in the gradebook. It's 1 grade that you earn. But this is designed so if you're having trouble at level 2, why would we have you do the harder questions if you still need help with level 2? That's why you stop. We'll do a remediation, and then you can retake the test and score higher and move on to level 3. The point of this whole testing is that we can focus in on what you need help with so we can help you in that little area and then move you to the next level and then move you to the next level. So let's take a look at what remediation will look like. What happens when you're unsuccessful on one of the levels? Well, you'll need to complete a remediation before you can retake that section of the assessment. This can be done in a variety of ways. It will all depend on your teacher. It could be completing a review assignment and showing that you actually know what to do now, that you learned from your mistakes. It could be tutoring with your teacher. It could be some other kind of activity that your teacher assigns you to complete. Once you've completed this remediation, your teacher will then set up a time where you can go ahead and retake the test or the assessment or whatever you want to call it. The goal of this is always for you to show us what you know, and where you get stuck, we can say, all right, well, we're going to stop. We're going to focus in on that, get you better at it. Now you can retake it and move to next level and show me that you can do the harder stuff as you go through the levels. That is the goal of this. Previous years, many students have really enjoyed this system because it allows for you to take a second shot to become successful, that your test grade is not static. It's not, I took a test, I didn't do well, I can't do anything about it anymore. That is not true in geometry. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask your teacher or rewatch this video.